welcome back. And as you'll be able to see here, finished the smokestack here. It's come up looking quite good. Got all the photo etch on. Got these pipes running down the side. This one had to be done a little bit carefully because it's got to be sitting at the right angle, because this pipe at the bottom here comes out. And if I go back to number 40 in the instructions where it's going to get fitted, I find that there's this little piece that I had to put together. It has a little hole in the top where this goes. So I had to dry fit this on the deck and make sure that that would be lined up properly when it goes in. And it does now. It's lined up and it's glued, and it should be good. So yeah, now I didn't use all the photo etch on this. I just didn't see the point. There's a couple of rings around here that really should have been replaced with photo etch, but the photo etch is exactly the same as what I would have had to sand off. There would be no noticeable difference at all, and it was a lot of trouble. So I didn't do that. I did put the ring around the top on there, so that looks fine. This is completed and ready for painting, obviously going on the top here, but it's going to be black, so I'll be painting that. I'll probably undercoat this today and may even do the black coat. I've got some problems with this platform under here. See that? So there's supposed to be railing that goes all the way around that. But the problem is that, see, the narrow section there on each end is actually, going by the photos in the Mark 1 kit, put that down. Going by the photos in here, show you this. So there's the railing there. It shows it fitting perfectly, but none of the railing I've got will fit that. The narrowest width between posts on the railing is wider than the piece itself. So what's happened is the M1 kit, full detail kit, would have included all the railings for all of these, and it would have had a marked numbered piece going, there's piece 65 of railing goes there, and that would have been the exact length, and all you would have had to do was take it off the screw and bend it into shape and put it on. But my kit didn't come with any railing, and I have to use the railings that came with the kit, which are just numbered 1, 2 and 3, the different types, or I've got some extra aftermarket railing. But same problem exists. 1/200 scale railing does not fit on that platform. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I'll figure that out later. I'm not going to bother with it now. There's also a couple of guns that go up the top here, and those ones are back here. The instructions. These ones here, and there's actually 8 of those to be built. I only need 2 on there. I don't know where the other 6 go yet, but I'm thinking today I might work on these guns. That will mean I've done all the artillery for the ship when I finish the 8 of those. I don't know why I didn't do them before, actually, when I was doing all this. But anyway, I need 2 for this. So this will go into my little box of completed number 18 step. Well, almost complete. Yeah, I can't even paint that till I get these railings sorted out. I know that the railings will probably fit on the top here, the bigger area. But again, I've got to make up, measure, cut the railings from scratch to fit everywhere on this ship, having not including the railings in the detail kit. So that will complete this step, and then we'll go over to 19, which looks like some of the control tower build up and the mast up to that. I'll have to check on the photo etch with that what is and isn't included in that as well. Okay, so yeah, we're back shortly with where I'm in the progress. Back in a minute. Okay, so we're back doing the machine guns here. Up on the deck, there's supposed to be 2 of them, and just want to show you how small these things are. So there's 3 pieces here that make up the guns. Do this right. There's the little sight. There's the actual gun main body there that will have it gets folded into 4 pieces. And we got this piece that sits off the back. And of course the barrels are all in here. And then we have the plastic piece, which that was the gun I cut off. There's the plastic stand for the gun. And here's the completed gun. See that? How small that is. With the sight on there and everything. Very, very tiny. That will be mounted onto the stand. It's supposed to go on the side of there. And that will be one of the 2. When I've finished these 2, I'll put them on the platform where they go, on the funnel that we were doing, the smokestack. And in the meantime, I will probably go ahead and do the rest of the other 6, get them out of the way. For this, I'm using my folding master tools little clamp here, because it's very important that these folded squarely. It has to be very square, and also any burrs that have come off the sprue. So I run my finger, I can feel there, and I can feel sharp edges. So what I would do with that, I get my sanding stick, just lightly go over it like this, just to take off, because the slightest little piece that's raised, there's some on there too, means that when these pieces are folded and they have to be folded onto each other, there's going to be a gap, because those little burrs are going to be in the way. Just stop them closing into a perfectly sealed little unit. That's much better. So the next one there, oh, there's one there where the hole for the barrel goes. So again, so small, it's just a slight run over the top like this. All it takes to sand that down. Just bent it, but that's okay. It's got to bend that way anyway, but very delicate. Another one there. Just needs to be slightly sanded. Never file across the piece, always file with it. So the line, if that's direction, if that's the direction of the piece, always file that way. Don't go across it, because you're likely to bend it. Always file in the direction of the piece. Okay. So I'll throw a few photos up of these when they're finished. You'll be able to get a nice close view. Okay. Much easier seeing them, the photographs. Okay, we're back shortly. Okay, welcome back. Here we've done all the guns. 6 of them there. And I've also gone ahead and built one of these. Someone's going to have to help here because I'm really not sure what the name of these are. There's 4 of them I have to build. I've built one. Very tricky to build. Very, yeah, there's some really, yeah, it's just very hard to handle these pieces. Photo edge. They sit on the bottom of one of the turrets, on the side of the turret. I've seen them on other ships. I just can't think what the name of them is. Someone wants to put that in comments, what their name is and what they're for. Yeah, they look like little torpedoes. That's what they are. I don't know. Anyway, I will make another 3 more of those, which have all the little pieces for here, and the rest will be on the sprue. And then we'll get back into continuing with step 19. Although I may go back to the previous steps and work on the lifeboats, at least get some of the photo etch put on the lifeboats. Just show you also, there's a view of what these things are here that I just built. But the lifeboats, yeah, because we've done all the stands for the lifeboats, I might get into at least getting all the photo etch on these. Yeah, we'll see how it is in next when I come back shortly. Be right back. Okay, welcome back, and as you can see, we've finished these little pieces here. There's quite delicate bits to put together, but they came out okay. And I know I was questioning what these things were, but I found out they're called a Paragon. And thanks to my friends on the Scale Fighting Ships Facebook group, they're used on capital ships for sweeping mines. I'll put a couple of pictures up to see, you can see how they work. And what I also found out was that they have them off the bow of the ship on either side by chains. They hang them up, they put them, lower them under the water, as you'll see in the photo there. But the kit doesn't come with these chains and this setup, so I might be putting, I think I'd like to have that on the front of the Arizona. I'm told the Arizona did have them, so even though they'll be mounted as they will be on the base of one of the turrets, the chains themselves that hang down the front of the ship there, I'll figure out something and we'll install those. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the lifeboats. So we're not going on to step 19, we're going back to step 14, 15 and 16, where we built all the supports for them, which were all photo etch. But part of those steps were also actually putting together lifeboats, the launchers, and a motorboat. So we're going to move on to that. So I'm going to get the sprues out, and also there's a lot of photo etch for these parts, which should make them look quite good. So as you'll see in this, right way around, yeah, so there's quite a bit of photo etch to go on these boats, and definitely add a touch of realistic quality to them. So I'll get onto that and we'll come back and have a look at them and see how they are as I progress through it. Okay, welcome back, and
show you what I've done here. So I've done one of the 40-foot motorboats, and I've got all the photo etch on here, as you'll see. Uh, so it's looking quite good. Portholes there. There's a little bit of bits to tie up on. Dash and the steering wheel sitting in there. Close and look at that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these as I go. Well, there's 4 of these 40-foot motorboats I have to do, and see all the photo etch there. So what I've decided to do is photo etch also includes a propeller, but the one that's on the boat here looks fine to me. So I'm going to leave that one on there. But I've tidied this all up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to undercoat them, which is a white Steinel res. And depending on how it comes out, I'm pretty sure the white looks pretty good. I might just leave these in the white undercoat. I'll do 2 coats of it. See, it'll have a bit of an off-white. I think that'll look good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some tape across the bottom of the hull, and I'll do it black. Hull red. So we'll have a red hull on these boats. And then what I'll do is, because I'll have done it white, once the red tape is done on there, I'll tape it over when it's dry, and I'll paint the top part will be the navy blue that the rest of the ship's going to be in. And when this is white undercoated, I will hand paint around the deck the navy blue and just leave that all white. I think they'll look good. I've seen that on another person's build, and it looks quite good. Rather than just leaving it, as the kit tells me, just do them straight navy blue. That's it, they're just all blue. Although, we'll have a look here. They were a deck tan. The tops were deck tan, which I'm not going to do because I want them to stand out a bit more from the deck. Sorry, you can see that. There it is there. See, they don't stick out much. They look part of the deck. So I'm going to do them white instead of the deck tan. The photo etch, as I showed before. Right, so my cheaper version of the MK1 Designs kit does not include any of these railings around the top of the ship. So none of those railings were included, and neither were the one at the back there. So won't be putting those on, of course. The other boats, these ones have oars in them. I don't have any oars, so I guess they're not in part of the set. The other boats we'll look at, I may do some tan colored because they do look more like they have wooden seats in there, maybe a wood base. We'll see how they go. The wood deck tan option. But I'll definitely do the hull red on all of them, other than one. There's one that sits on top of the stack that's a real small one. I won't be doing the hull red on that. The other thing with this kit is they're labeled. So this image has got K, and there's M, C, N, M, I, K, B. They're all ones you can refer back to all of these to look at the location and see them on the ship. But unfortunately, because these doesn't have the full kit, the photos that include those letters aren't here. I don't have those photos. The only way I can see the ships is G. This one here shows the 3 stacked. There's another angle of the 3 stacked up here. That's it. I have no other view of the lifeboats on this at all. Definitely none corresponding with what they were. So I guess the full detail kit would have come with the photos with these in the locations. But it's okay, we'll work around. So I'll keep going with these. There'll be 4 of them to do and paint. Yeah, so I won't be gluing the top to the bottom until after they're painted, but I think they'll come up all right. So hopefully the next video will show these boats painted, or I may set these aside and continue putting together the rest of the boats. So when I do come to painting, I can do them all at once. Okay, we're back short. One other thing I thought I'd mention is you can obviously hear a lot of birds chirping in the background. I live opposite a park that's full of parrots, and they affect my microphone and my voice, and I can't block them out. That's why you find that earlier my videos, in the beginning of the video, it's nice and clear. That's because I'm up at 4 or 5 in the morning doing the first recordings. But as the day goes on and the birds wake up, it gets a bit noisier in the background. But that's my explanation of the birds. It's not a great deal I can do about them. Not humanely anyway. I wouldn't do anything that's like that. Okay, back shortly. Okay, welcome back. We're about to have a bit of an update of where we're at so far. And thought I'd show you what stage we're at. So the boats have been put together and they're all ready to be painted, which is what I plan to do today. And then when I've done that, I will show you how they're looking. Okay. Trying to block out some background noise. I don't know why, but it's raining outside and somebody's mowing their lawn. Go figure that. Right, so let's have a look. So, as you know, all these parts we've done are all in the containers. So we've got everything here. We've got the smokestack. Microphone closer. We've got all those paraphanes, the little guns, cranes. You've got the racks for the boats. We've got more guns there, all the artillery, there's more there. Lots. Go along, we've got more bits here. Here's all our boats. View the boats. All done, all marked, what they are, what they're for. Some of the photo etch I didn't put on because I'm going to put that on after painting. It's just they're so delicate, they'll get knocked off. And it'll make it difficult for painting some of the wood deck and detail bits when the photo etch is on there and it has to be a different colour. As we go up to here, under here we have turrets. So there's all the turrets there. Look at some colour there. So they're all painted up. Barrels are all done. Some more there. Cranes and the catapult. So as you can see there, all organised. Because basically the whole of this kit is all building all the parts without touching any of the actual ship and the deck. Doesn't mean I can't skip ahead and do that, which I may at some stage. like I said, the weather today, it's raining. It's not ideal for painting, but should be okay to do the boats. Uh, and I'll just, let's see, there's the photo etch of the boats. They should look really nice when they're done. Okay, so I'll continue on and at least get these boats in an undercoat and 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 ready for some hull red and a bit of masking that I plan to do. And we'll see how that goes. We're back shortly. Okay, welcome back. Thought I'd show you what I think is an original idea of sorting out how I'm going to paint the boat racks to begin with. So what I've got here is obviously some clothes pegs with some masking tape, sticky side up, and I've placed everything down on there so that it'll stay put. And I'll give them a spray with clear coat, and then I can turn them over when they're dry and do the other side. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can think of handling these. I'm not sure what I'll do with the boats. I will probably do a similar thing, or I just may use blue tack or something to hold them. The deck ones are okay because I can handle underneath them where they don't need to be painted, but the actual hulls of the lifeboats will be a little bit trickier. It might be just a case of, not rushing it and, doing certain parts at a time when it's dry and coming back and doing the whole red and so forth. But I will definitely be doing all in a white Stynel Res undercoat first, and then when that's dry, masking it up for the whole red, and then the ship blue that it is. Yeah. So anyway, I'll see how this goes. Yeah, I think this will work. All right, back shortly, and we'll have a look at what they're like painted. Okay, welcome back. I've got the lifeboats and their frames all undercoated, drying. Throw a couple of pictures up in the corner here, somewhere probably there. And in the meantime, I want to make sure that they dry completely. So I'm not going to touch them today. It's only a primer, but I need to be putting masking tape on them for the hull and so forth. So I want to be 100% sure it's all dry. So in the meantime, I thought, well, these turrets are all done and painted. Might as well put these barrels and everything on. So now, a closer look at this. So they look quite nice. And I've put one of the, I think they call these a blast covers, on. Now these are in order. So you'll see that in here I have them. So we got 11, 12, and 13. There's 4 in each set. So what happens with the instructions, from right to left, it goes 11, 12, and 13. That's the order they have to go in. Otherwise the barrels won't go in straight. So I'm assuming that anyway. So I've kept them in order. So I'm putting them on. Now, because these are painted, putting the contact, this popular glue, doesn't work. Okay, it's not going to stick a painted surface to a painted surface. It won't work. And also, the Tamiya or Mr. Cement, these type of things, these are plastic welding glues. So again, it's no point In fact, if you try and put this on two painted surfaces, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to rip the paint off. It'll just eat right through the paint. So I can't use that. So what I am using is super glue, and I use this called Loctite. So super glue, there's a control version and there's a precision one. The control one is a thicker one, whereas the precision one is more of a watery liquid one. Both have their purposes, but for this I just use Loctite and the thick one. Now what I'm doing with this is I put that down for a minute. So I put a dot of the super glue on here, and then I take my pen, which is actually with a needle in the end, to use the fine point. I just touch that in the glue, and then I can work around the edges. Have a look at number 12 will be the next one to go on. So what I would do is, see this, there's a little bit of space around the bottom and the sides. So I would just carefully touch that in there, just top, bottom, left and right, just so there's a little bit of super glue, and then I'll come along and simply place it in, and it'll lock in, it'll sit in place. And it's also a good idea to have things at the angle. See, these are angled up like they are, so if I rest it up against here, I have gravity help me, and it'll just sit down in a spot like that. So I'm going to go along and do all of these, place them all in, and then there's the barrels, which should be fine. They just slip nicely in there, nice no fit, but they will have to be straight. So that's going to require a bit of precision to make sure these barrels are straight. So what I do for that is I'll actually use my mat here, and I'll place it down. I'll make sure that it's square, and then I will look at the barrel and make sure it's straight that way. Once I know it's straight that way, I can turn it onto its side and then just use my line of sight down there and just look along, and it's going to be straight like this, so I know that it's going to be in there nicely. Again, I will use the same glue, although I might use, because the ends of these aren't painted. So that's just, these are resin, these bags on here, and that's metal. So I may use my metal glue, which is used for photo etch, which dries clear. So it doesn't matter if I get a little bit over. But the thing with that is it dries slower. So it gives me plenty of time to sit, for instance, all 3 of these barrels in, and then move them around so that I know they're all lined up straight and they're all looking good. So that's the plan. Let's see what they look like when they're done. Be back shortly. Okay, welcome back, and we've got the turrets all done. They've come up looking really nice. All my barrels all on there. What's up there? Nice. And yeah, this looks pretty good. So managed to get them in straight, which was, I worried about it at first, trying to figure out what the best way to make sure they're nice, lined up and straight. But in the end, it was a matter of just put the middle one in first, middle barrel and then just work on either side and just straighten them up by sight. Yeah, I'm not going to get better than that. It's, I had all these ideas of building a template, setting a thing at the right height so that if I laid it down, put it on there, and it'd be the right height, but it all came up all right after all. So, yeah, looking good. So my pieces inside for the lifeboats are still drying, but I would say that the undercoat's probably dry on them now, so I might go in there now and just do I was just going to do an undercoat, but a second undercoat and leave them at that, but I'm going to see if the white paint might be worth giving it a spray with on the boats. So I'll go and have a look in there now, and we'll come back and see how that's coming on. Okay, back soon. Okay, welcome back, and I'm now working on step 19, just putting some photo etch around this platform here. I'll just glue it spots of CA glue as I bend it around. It's going to go all the way around. There's another piece to go in there as well. There's this, which is not glued yet, but that'll be the platform, and this. And I've finished painting the life rafts. I'll put some photos up here you'll be able to look at, and continue on to moving on to part 19. I'm going to finish up the video here. It's been going long enough, and the next one will continue on. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and watch, and give us a like if you liked it, thumbs up, and give us a comment down below if you want to mention something, suggest something, got questions, tips, whatever. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, thanks a lot.